This is your guide to Port Canaveral. We're going to show you what it looks like, how to get to each of the cruise terminals, how to find your ship, and what to expect when you arrive at your terminal. Most people will fly into the airport in Orlando, MCO, but it is a very busy, very crowded airport with long lines. If you want to avoid all the congestion at MCO, consider the alternatives. Melbourne Airport and Daytona Beach with a much more laid-back, fun flying experience. Keep in mind if you're flying in through Daytona Beach, certain times of year might be a little crazier with the raceway there and with spring breakers. But avoiding Orlando, at least the airport, may be a good idea. As you drive in from the Orlando direction, Daytona Beach or Melbourne, you'll come from I-95 going east towards Port Canaveral. And there are two main exits. You'll see signs assisting you, but these are the main terminals that you look for the different cruise lines. Princess Cruise Lines also uses the Carnival Cruise Line terminals, and Celebrity uses the Royal Caribbean terminals. As you can see, it's a very busy cruise port with many terminals, so we hope this will help you to get a preview, to have a calmer experience as you arrive. Now, coming in from the west, from I-95 or from Orlando, you'll see the terminal signs listing the names of the ships at each of the two exits with the terminal numbers listed. Use that as your guide, but keep in mind that on the day you arrive, you're going to want to stay to the right, particularly for the first exit, 54A. Now that exit will come up on you very quickly as you come over this hill. It's a quick turn to the right. You won't even see the road until you're right up to it, so be watching for that. And it curves a hard cloverleaf turn to the right. Now there's only one way to go from this exit. It turns into the road that you'll want, but keep in mind it is kind of a blind turn, so watch for any stop traffic or traffic that might be merging from the other direction. As you come around the corner, there is also the possibility that a drawbridge up ahead before you get to the terminals could be open, which would again possibly slow down traffic. Coming up ahead, you're going to want to stay to the right, particularly for Disney Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, and MSC, as those will be in terminals 8 and 10. Further up ahead are going to be exits for terminals 5 and 6, and these are for Royal Caribbean, Carnival, also possibly Princess and Celebrity. But these will be further around the corner after you go under this blue overpass. Coming around the corner up ahead, you'll be turning in, no matter which one of these terminals you go to, you'll be turning in and going to the parking garage, a place to drop off your bags, and of course, most importantly, the ship itself, going through the cruise terminal and security. Parking garage, I recommend taking a photo with your cell phone to remember exactly where you parked, especially if you're on a long cruise. It might be hard to remember what level and what area you're in. Here's the current parking information for Port Canaveral, $17 per day. Bring your credit cards. Cash is not accepted. And you can go to portcanaveral.com for further information. When you drop off the larger bags, the ones you want carried on for you, the baggage assistants, keep in mind these people work for tips. We usually tip $5 per bag, but obviously tipping is your option, your choice. These bags will be waiting for you in a room once you board the ship, But keep your carry-on bag, the items you'll need in that you'll want to have with you for the first few hours of your cruise, and important items like your cruise paperwork, your cell phone, passport, and any medication you might need during that first day. For Carnival Cruise Line, our experience has always been first you pay to park, then you drop off your luggage that you're not carrying on, of course, and then you park in the garage. For Disney, we've dropped off our luggage, paid to park, and then parked in the garage. So the order can change depending on the cruise line. For MSC, we dropped off our luggage, then you pay to park, then you park in the garage. For Norwegian, we also dropped off our luggage, paid to park, and then parked in the garage. Royal Caribbean, we've always paid to park, dropped off our luggage, then parked in the garage. So we hope this is helpful, but keep in mind it can change depending on their procedures and the arrangements of the garage that they're using. Now, if you're using the other exit and the terminals for 1 and 3, you're going to exit at exit 54B. Now that's also going to be on the right, but a little further down. Coming in on that same road, you'll want to be in either of the two right-hand lanes for exit 54B, and this will be for Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and potentially Celebrity and Princess. You can be in either of these two lanes as you come around the corner and you find the traffic light at the overpass. Now both terminals are down a little ways, and if you see the ship in the distance, it can be deceiving how close it is. So you'll go through several lights, particularly if you're going to Carnival. As you're passing through, you're going to want to stay more or less to the left. And if you're heading for Terminal 1 for Royal Caribbean, you might be tempted to turn before the parking garage, but wait, follow the signs, and exit after the parking garage. That's the easiest way to get in. And coming up ahead, the clue that this is your turn is indicated by the two left-hand turn lanes. And that will take you in to the terminal parking and baggage drop-off for Royal Caribbean. And again, possibly you might be cruising out of Celebrity here. If you're going to Carnival, you're going to keep continuing down the road. Carnival's newer Terminal 3 is down quite a ways. You're going to go through multiple lights, but again, it's going to be on the left-hand side. Showing you the full length of the route here so you can be familiar with it, so it's not your first time when you're arriving. Again, several lights, and you can start to see the fishtail up there on the left, and that's going to be Terminal 3. Now here again, you're going to pass the parking garage before you turn in, and be sure you, unlike me, you don't drive in the bus lane here. There are two left-hand turns, but apparently Only the very far left lane is for cars. And there you can see Terminal 3. So now, if you're coming from a different direction, the only other way would be if you're coming from Cocoa Beach from the east or southeast. And this is an area where there's a lot of businesses and hotels. So if you're staying in a hotel in Cocoa Beach, this would be the direction you'd be coming from. So I'm going to show you this real quickly. Coming in from Cocoa Beach, you're going to head past all these businesses, and just like coming in from the west, you will eventually see overhead signs indicating the names of the ships and the exits for those terminals. So use those as your guide. Here you can see all 4 ships that are in port today listed and the directional signs. That's the exit for 54B on the right there. And coming up in a short distance will be the exit for 54A as well. And you can see the ships in the distance. This port does a good job of clustering the ships together, even though there is a fair amount of driving between the ports. For 54A coming from the east, you're going to want to stay to the right. Here, you're going to have 2 turn lanes, and this exit doesn't come up as quickly as it does if you're coming from the west. Again, keep in mind, you'll be approaching that drawbridge, and there could be a backup here as you exit the main road. If you want an alternative to driving, there are shuttle services you can use that can transfer you from a hotel, the airport, and get you to your terminal in a more relaxing way. And here are some of the options if you don't want to drive in yourself. Also, while you're in the Port Canaveral area, there is an area in between the 2 exits. You can use exit 54A to get to these. And this little area of restaurants and bars are a great place to hang out and ship watch, or kick back and just enjoy something to eat or drink the day before your cruise. We hope you found this helpful and you enjoy your cruise out of Port Canaveral. For more on cruising, watch one of these videos next.